pretty often. I think Mongoose is the key for Jacob Wilson in this matchup,
Okay,
really.
if you look at it, both players can kill each other's Delvers, right?
Right.
Erik can also kill Jacob's Goyfs because of the Swords to Plowshares. So maybe it's going to come down to a counter spell war with Dazes, with Force of Will, with Spell Pierce. I don't know. It's going to be really close.
Yeah, the Delver matches always, they have so much play all the time. And, you know, really, a lot of the time it comes down to who plays better in these matchups.
Yeah, and both players are so happy to be here. Just look at them smiling. They're laughing. Both are in top 4. They're so close to taking home that trophy.
Right.
But hey, it's just such a good performance. Erik wasn't even really qualified for more than Somerset. He needed to come here. He needed to get that final point. I think he had about 14 points coming into this. And now, forget about it. He's qualified for Somerset. He's going to be qualified for Indianapolis.
Yeah.
He might even have an extra qualification after this due to all his points.
That's awesome. You know, it only takes a couple good finishes on the Open Series to qualify for multiple invitationals, which are amazing value.
Yeah, and you know, Erik did top 16, top 16, top 64.
Right.
So he really grinded. But look at Jacob Wilson. You know, he doesn't really play many of these.
No,
he showed
not
up.
many at all. He shows up to 1 or 2 a year.
7-0, started 14-0 in games. So that's definitely something really impressive. And if you notice, Jacob Wilson is the 4th seed. So he'll be on the play.
Yeah, Erik Smith snuck into top 8 as that 8th place finisher, X1-1 with the worst breakers. That means he has to be on the draw every round.
Yeah, all right. So we'll see what happens. Jacob Wilson's. We'll go over his deck list one more time. Pretty straightforward. Rug Delver, Nimble Mongoose, Delver Seekers, Tarmogoyf, Snapcaster Mage, Forcible, Daze, Spell Pierce, Stifle, Brainstorm, Ponder, Cataxian Probe, and of course, Lightning Bolt. So really, really great Magic so far. Look at the judge. The judge is having a ball too. He's laughing. He's saying, you know what, this is awesome. So only 9:48, still pretty early for us.
Yeah.
The last coverage I did was with Cedric, and it was the team event, and we stayed here really late. It was great. You know, I love watching team events. I love watching Legacy.
Yeah, that's awesome. You also got to watch Owen and Reed win
Reed,
the GP, right? And Huey.
And
Yeah.
William Jensen. All right, so both with 7 cards. Jacob takes a look. Erik's taking a look. Yep, both players say keep. All right, so there's a Cataxian Probe. And let's see what Erik has. And there's a Tundra, there's a Volcanic Island, as his 2 lands. That's pretty interesting. Sometimes people, when they get probed or they get duressed, they kind of lay it out for their opponent. They set the lands on one side, then they put the spells that you can actually take from the duress. But Erik just kind of plops his hand on the table. We see a Grim Lavamancer, a Brainstormer, Forcible, a Snapcaster Mage, and of course that Ponder.
Yeah, pretty strong hand for
Yeah,
Erik
it
Smith.
really
He
is,
has
yeah.
all 3 colors of mana. He has the Force of Will, the Brainstorm. He has everything he wants here.
And the one thing he doesn't have is the sack lands, which is really good because he doesn't have to worry about a Stifle.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jacob leads off with Delver. Kind of interesting. Grim Lavamancer, you know, Jacob has to know that Erik has Grim Lavamancer. He Cataxian probed him, but
Maybe he
Erik's-
has a Daze.
Yeah,
Maybe he has a Bolt.
he could have a lot of things
You know,
here.
we do see a Stifle. He could Stifle it.
Yeah,
He
true.
could make Erik, you know, kind of waste the mana, waste some cards, and boom, Stifle.
Right, and you know, Erik, we can see here he's not overloaded with fetch lands or cantrips. He only has the 1 Brainstorm and the 1
Do you
Ponder.
think Erik's going to block? No, Erik takes it.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
take it, I think.
Really interesting, yeah. All right, Jacob does draw a Wasteland, I believe, and if that's the case, he could go a second Delver, Wasteland.
Right, put Erik Smith in the position to have to top deck a red source to even be able to kill that
Yeah,
Delver.
I think Jacob definitely wants to play out that Wasteland first because he wants to play around Daze. Ooh, is that not a Wasteland in his hand? Maybe he wants to get dazed?
He probably wants to get dazed right here, yeah.
Well, I don't think he would ever want to get dazed.
Well, it's better to daze the Delver than it is to daze something like a Mongoose, a Tarmogoyf, even a Brainstorm. That Delver is...
Do you think Jacob's thinking, you know, I don't want Erik to have a graveyard? Maybe that's why. Maybe he doesn't want to do the Wasteland play.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's actually
really tough.
thinking about Force of Willing this, though.
Yeah, we don't know Jacob's whole hand. We think we saw a Stifle and we think we saw a Wasteland, so all our assumptions here, we probably should just wait to see how things play out.
Right.
And if we get a better look at Jacob's hand, then we could really decide. All right, so Erik says, yeah, okay, that's fine. And it was the Wasteland. Okay. All right, so there's a Stifle drawn by Erik Smith. Just out of turn, though, I think Erik's going to have to play his Ponder. And does Jacob have anything? No? All right, there's a Wasteland, there's a Delver, and there's a
Ooh,
Misty Rainforest.
very
Pretty
nice
good.
hit. Yeah,
Yeah,
Erik
yeah.
really needed a fetch land.
Yeah, just any land he
Yeah.
needed, but fetch land is definitely the perfect one that he really wants here.
So he gets the fetch land. He'll certainly keep that on top. He'll draw that card. The question is, what does he draw the next turn?
I'm not sure. Let's see.
I would think the Wasteland, but
Yeah, I think he wants to have Misty and the Wasteland. I think that's probably key. Maybe there's some relevant to have drawn the Wasteland and hide the Misty just in case there's another probe to kind of not show Jacob that you do have a red source.
right.
So it's really tricky. It's really complex, and we see what's going on here. So Erik swings in with the Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah, pretty nice. It's like he's trying to tell Jacob, hey, I didn't find a red source. I'll just attack you.
But he really did draw
yeah,
a red
he did.
source.
He
so
did. He's trying to sneak in a point of
Yeah.
damage. Pretty cheeky by Erik Smith at one
yeah,
point.
everyone's really trying to level each other here, but Jacob goes for the block. He likes blocking. Jacob looks, and it is a Goyf.
Wow.
All right, so Delver cracks for 1, and Jacob with no more lands. There's a Wasteland.
Whew. And your opponent has no lands and a 1/1. I think I waste right now.
Yeah, I believe Eric's going to go for the Wasteland. Jacob obviously is going to go for the Stifle, but
Right, maybe
Erik
upkeep
does
Wasteland?
have the Force of Will.
Right.
Yeah, let's see. Stifle, and I believe Eric's going to fight over this.
Maybe a slight misplay by Erik Smith. I would have maybe preferred to Wasteland during the upkeep, make Jared tap that mana during the upkeep, but...
Just in case Jacob were to fight back with a Force of Will, for example.
Right, right.
Okay, so Erik now is going to Brainstorm. This kind of plays into a daze. However, he does draw not 1 but 2 more Force of Wills.
Jeez.
Wow, what a great draw for Erik. Jacob's going to have to be really relying on that Delver flipping and trying to go the whole way, the way the game is looking right now.
Right, with 0 lands in play, Jacob Wilson has to rely on both the top of his deck to draw an instant and the top of his deck to draw a
Yeah.
land, and unfortunately...
Some great draws from Erik Smith here. And there's that Force of Will, throwing away that Snapcaster Mage.
Snapcaster,
Snapcaster
yeah.
Mage, especially in a Delver mirror match where everyone's wastelanding each other, Snapcaster is really a 3-mana card, and
It is.
it's tough to hit 3 lands. Delver
okay.
finally flips with the Force of Will. That's probably the best one to flip with.
It is.
Especially when you have no lands.
Right, now Jacob has something that he can play off 0 lands. Can't play Tarmogoyf, can't play Spell Pierce, none of that
Wow,
stuff.
Erik draws a Delver. And he's going to drop that Misty Rainforest, I believe. Things are looking good for Erik, I want to say.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first when he got wastelanded, but the Ponder dug up some lands, and now he's right back in
Do you
business
think
here.
Jacob's going to try to force this Delver or just let it be?
I don't know. If I'm Jacob, I have to feel like this Delver's a test spell. But
So
no,
it's
Jacob
force.
disagrees.
All right, I think if I'm Erik, I'm going to force back.
Wow.
Force pitching force. So what's Erik left with? A Misty Rainforest, and what was his last card?
I think it's a Geist of Saint Draft.
Is it really?
Might be.
All right, well, that's a good one to have your last one, as long as you draw 1 more land.
Right. So Erik,
I think Eric's thinking if he wants to sack now, play around Stifle, or just pass. He decides to pass. Jacob draws. Not a land.
nope, not a
Looks like
land.
another Delver, maybe.
Yep, 10-17 in Jacob Wilson's favor. And
Ooh,
ooh,
there's a
look at that.
Stifle.
Oh, and that's gotta
That's a good
be
one.
a kick for Jason Wilson.
Oh, it is a
Jacob
Geist.
Wilson.
Yeah, it is a Geist of Saint Traff as his last card. So now I think Erik wants to sacrifice his Misty. He'll probably go fetch up a Volcanic Island. And he doesn't want to attack, I don't think.
No, I think he has to keep this
he
Del-
wants to trade, right? He's at 9. He doesn't want to go to 6 and then randomly get like bolt.
Right, it's kind of an awkward situation because the more time you give Jacob Wilson, the more likely he is to draw a land, but
Yeah.
he's not even close to winning the race.
All right, now if you're Jacob Wilson, you just want to swing in, right?
Yeah, force the trade because Erik Smith has the mana to plow it if he draws one, and you don't have the mana to bolt it if you draw one. So,
Okay.
good trade by Jacob. He needs to draw some land now, though.
Yeah, if he draws a land right here, the Geist of Saint Traff will come down. I think it was a plow. Again, nothing. I think another plow. Just
Wow.
going back and forth. Oh, there's a tropical island. Wow, another sick game.
Not even a fetch land.
Yeah, I know. Really, really crazy games here. I guess this is why Legacy's so awesome. Why so many people love it, because you never know who's gonna win. You never know what's going on.
Yeah, the things like, especially the Delver mirrors that are just so intricate. Delver v Stoneblade.
Yeah.
The blue mirrors are really where it's at in Legacy.
All right. Erik draws. There's a Scalding Tarn. He's gonna go for a crack right here, and I think Jacob wants to stifle this. he has to worry about Geist State Draft. And what does Erik have? Nothing. You think maybe Erik got a little bit hasty there?
I think so. Again, I think the upkeep uh, is the best place to play with and around
Sure.
Stifle.
Yeah. And I mean, there's really no rush. I think Erik could have waited a turn on his Geist. Now Jacob Wilson with Days backup, he is going to drop a Delver, but Erik has that Swords to Plowshare ready.
Yep. So up to 18 goes Jacob.
Yeah, and there's a fourth land. Well, a third land. It would have been a fourth land, so he could have played around the Stifle, but now it looks like Erik might just walk into the Days.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think Erik, again, is just really playing into Rug Delver's trap. You know, you walk into a room, there's a big pot of gold there. You're not just going to go right after that pot of gold. You're going to say, hey, why is there a pot of gold there? And I think Erik just has his eye on the pot of gold and is playing at the Rug Delver. Nobody doesn't. He passes the
Wow,
turn.
okay.
Wow, everything I just said was completely wrong.
Gotta give your friend a little more credit,
Yeah.
buddy.
All right, let's see.
Ooh, fetch land. Very
Excellent.
nice.
Wow, all right, this game's crazy. Zach, take over, commentate for the rest of the game.
So fetch land for Jacob Wilson. Erik Smith does still have that Stifle, though, so he'll be able to stop that cold. It all depends on when Jacob Wilson decides to crack the fetch.
Yeah. All right, Jacob being really patient here. I guess so is Erik. Oh, there's a Delver. That's a good draw.
Yep, Delver
Jacob
comes
is on
down.
18 life, remember, so he's got a lot of room. He could use his life total as a resource here.
Yep, Jacob Wilson has a full grip. He has a Brainstorm. He has a Stifle, a Daze.
All right, so he's going for the fetch. Erik's got a Stifle. There's a Spell Pierce.
Wow.
Wow. Jacob Wilson is a master with Rug Delver. This
He-
is...
Always seems to have the answer, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, it looked super bad for him. At one point, it looked super bad for Erik, but again, now we're like pretty much back at parity. We don't know what's going to happen. Is that Delver going to flip? Is Erik going to resolve that Geist? There's a Brainstorm end of turn, and it looks like Jacob always knows what his opponent has or what his opponent doesn't have.
Yeah, especially these
And
blue
that's something
mirrors.
you really can't practice. That's just like a gift that you have, maybe.
Yeah, the Delver mirrors, it's all about deductive reasoning and intuition. You just have to figure out what would he have played when, and wow, look at this. Tarmogoyf comes down.
Yep.
Erik can't do anything except swords it, giving
Cool.
Jacob even more life.
That's pretty good flip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure is.
So Erik's going to take a look at his graveyard. How big is that Goyf? Was it a 4/5? All right, 4/5. I guessed right.
Yep, as it so often is, 4-5.
I think Erik might just want to lead off with a plow right here.
Plow it, see what's up, see if Jacob wants to fight over that.
Yeah, maybe with a force because of Erik's days now, so he knows that Jacob can't force.
Right.
Because Jacob saw the days.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, he's going for a Geist.
Takes his opportunity to
Yeah,
resolve the Geist
that's
with
pretty
Days
good.
backup, yeah.
I like it. I like Erik's line.
Unfortunately for him, though, this Tarmogoyf is 4-5, and he's at 7. He's within
Yeah,
Lightning Bolt
he-
and attack
I
range.
know, yeah. That's the whole thing. I mean, getting Geist out there is awesome, but also you have to remember, you're at 7 life.
Right, Jacob Wilson played 0 Lightning Bolts this game.
Yeah, and he does have that red source now with the Volcanic Island, so this is just... Yeah, this is... I don't know.
Crazy
Jacob
game.
knows it's tough. But yeah, I think you're right. Jacob does seem really good at, like, deductive reasoning. And Erik, I would say, is more of a field player. You know, that's what I like. I'm a field player as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, he passes the turn. Maybe he's going for a double... He's just going for a chump block?
Chump block, wow, okay.
That's...
Erik must put Jacob solely on Lightning Bolt. He didn't even think about that. He just
Yeah.
decided, okay, my opponent has Bolt, I have to block, I can't go to 3.
I guess Erik is valuing Geist so much, but there's another Goyf.
Right.
Yeah. Really doesn't seem like it's working out for Erik this game. There's the days, and there's a days. I mean, Jacob knew about the days, and I think Erik knew that Jacob had a days. But
Oh, wow, look at
nimble
that.
Mongoose.
Jacob adds 7 power to the board on this turn.
And because he was able to daze after Erik, he has the extra mana for the
Right,
nimble Mongoose.
right. Just really, really well played by Jacob Wilson. He had no lands for so many turns, and yet he ends the game at 17 life.
Yeah, wow. This is... Some of these games have been so impressive, especially with Jarrett, especially with how Jacob has been playing with Rung Delver. It's just... It's really a treat to watch. You
Yeah,
know,
well-
not to take any credit away from Erik Smith. Erik has been playing, great. I mean, he's in the top 8.
Top 4,
The
yeah.
top 4, that's even better.
So Swords to
I lost
Plowshares.
track of time back.
Jacob up to 21, and Erik Smith consigned to chump blocking here.
Yep. And... Yeah, there it is. He's down to 4 life.
Eric Smith.
There's a Misty. There's another Goyf. Goyf's such a good card.
And that's the game right there.
Wow.
Jacob Wilson 1-0.
Insane.
One step closer to adding a Star City Open title to his Grand Prix resume. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, wow. All right, so Eric Smith to your right, Jacob Wilson to your left. These guys are going to go to sideboarding. In the meantime, we're going to come back to us because we have another treat for you guys. We gave away 3 months premium just a moment ago. Now, instead of 3 months, it's going to be 6 months,
Yep,
Zach.
we're doubling the stakes here.
All right, and we have a good question for you. Now, we talked about the Somerset Invitational. It's all about the Mythic Madness.
Yeah.
Say it with me, Zach. The
Mythic Madness.
Like, you're not really doing a good job. We'll try it later for the finals.
Yeah, we'll practice before the finals.
Yeah, we'll definitely practice. So we're doing the Mythic Madness at the Somerset Invitational in New Jersey in just a couple of weeks, July 26th to the 28th. I'm pretty sure those are the dates.
Yeah, that's it right there.
If I'm
You
wrong,
got them right.
Don't sue me. Just look on the calendar, right? But anyway, here's our trivia question. We're doing the Mythic Madness. I want to know how many Mythics are we giving out for each Mythic Rare ever made? Is it just one Jace the Mind Sculptor we'll give away? Is it 2, 3?
I don't know. I'll give
4,
you a hint.
What?
More than one Jace the Mind
It's
Sculptor.
more than one Jace the
Yeah,
Mind Sculptor.
gotta have
It's
a hint.
more than
It's a
one
tough one.
Tarmogoyf.
And you know what? For bonus credit, that's not worth anything.
Okay.
How many Mythics have ever been printed? Tweet that one. I'm just curious. So
Yeah.
let us know. But the real question: how many of each Mythic are we giving away at the Somerset Invitational?
Yes.
Use the hashtag SCG Premium. You know how it works. That's the one you need.
Yeah.
Tweet at us, and you might win 6 months premium.
And honestly, so far, the questions have been just like as exciting as some of the matches. So remember, it's the Mythic Madness. Again, you messed up. All right, let's cut back to these sideboard guys. What's going on, Zach? Seriously.
I got to work on my enthusiasm.
All right, so you see Eric Smith on the right. He's down a game. You see Jacob Wilson on the left. He's up a game. Jacob Wilson with Rug Delver. Eric Smith with Blue, White, Red Delver. Jacob Wilson's going to go to a sideboard. He has 3 copies of Submerge. Submerge is amazing in the Rug Delver mirror match. It's not very good here. Why? Well, Eric Smith doesn't have any Forest, so Submerge is not going to come in. Jace the Mind Sculptor is going to be Wasteland back and forth, Wasteland back and forth. Probably not. A Vidalian Click, sure, we'll give that a check. Sulfur Elemental, no, doesn't want Sulfur Elemental. Doesn't really want to make those Geist of St. Traps a 3-1 or anything.
No, don't think so.
But you know what card he's definitely going to bring in? Rough and Tumble.
Oh, yeah.
A great answer to Geist of St. Trapt is Rough and Tumble, and that's what Jacob's definitely going to bring in. Pyroblast, sure. Life in the Loan, yeah, definitely. Graft Digger's Cage, nah. Zernorb, I asked Jacob Wilson about Zernorb. I said, hey, did you bring in Zernorb in the Rug Mirror match? And he goes, no. And I'm like, why? And he was just kind of thinking, he's like, well, I'm definitely bringing a Life in the Loam. I'm like, yeah, but Zernorb and Life in the Loam go so well together. So I wonder if he's going to bring in Zernorb against Eric Smith. Zernorb is just a great card, especially with Life in the Loam. It's like a combo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has the Zernorb against Burn,
Sure.
Goblins, things like that. But yeah, maybe he'll bring it in here. Maybe against Blue, White, Red Delver.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. And thank you, Eric Peacock. He's been tweeting in with a couple of tips, and he says that we're doing an excellent job commentating, and he's loving these matchups.
Yeah, I am too, man. All these blue on blue matchups, it just embodies what Legacy really is. This intricate dance. Almost feels like fencing, back and forth and back. Just all these amazing plays.
Right here, before you go to Eric Smith's sideboard, I have a pet peeve. Every single time, no matter where it is, if it's a split card, we only see the first half. Right here, we see Rough. You know, even in deck lists.
No love to tumble is what
you're
saying.
Yeah, no love to tumble. Same thing with Far and Away. Do you think there's just like some system like a Y2K thing where you can't actually have it, everything's going to crash?
I hope we see tumble come out this game
Oh,
for
there
Jacob
it is.
Wilson.
Our producer's choice is too good here. All right, Rough and Tumble. Now everybody knows that it's actually the split card. All right, Eric Smith, really quick, what is he bringing in?
Well, you know, he has something like Meddling Mage if he wants it. Maybe stop a Tarmogoyf, which proves such a problem for him last game. Not what the card is for.
What do you think about Relic and Engineering Explosives?
Oh, well, Relic is really good. Relic's an amazing way to stop the Tarmogoyf. EE, it's a good way. Also,
Nimble Mongoose, right?
Yeah, he has the
At
Nimble
least it's a
Mongoose.
way to kill it now.
Yeah.
So I think he has to bring in the 2 Engineering Explosives, the 2 Relic of Progenitors, Red Elemental Blasts, and
maybe the 4th Force of Will.
I'm not going to say anything about that wear right there. But we all know it's wear and tear. A split card, destroy an artifact, or destroy an enchantment.
No, I think it's wear and away, isn't it?
No, it's not wear and away. It's far and away.
That's Kamigawa card.
Yeah, there it is. Wear and tear. I love this. You know, wear and tear, no real reason to bring that in. So it's basically going to be Engineer's Explosives, Relic of Progenitus, 2 copies of Red Elemental Blast, And probably the Vidalian clicks. I like Vidalian click a lot, especially when it's Delver versus Delver. You just want more flyers. You just want to trade.
Right, more flash cards,
Yeah,
too.
you don't want to be tempoed out by just a turn 1 Delver flip. You want to at least have a shot with a Vidalian click. So
Props to Dylan Lee Baker on Twitter. I'm not going to fact check this, but I'm just going to trust him. 320 mythics printed. Awesome job. That was like 2 minutes.
yeah, this guy's he knows his stuff. For example. All right, so we'll see what happens. Erik Smith on the play. Don't see many lands in his hand.
Yeah, I think he might have to take a mull here unless... I think he has one fetch land?
Yeah, it was a Scalding Tarn he has?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he just said keep.
Okay.
Me with my lip reading ability comes in handy once again. And he's going to probably search up... Last minute addition is the Plateau. And, a couple of these guys are all from Jersey. Not everyone had a Plateau, so some played a Sacred Foundry.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
It wouldn't be the first time. We saw a couple breeding pools on camera earlier today from Pete Ingram.
But if you think about
no
it,
slouch.
Eric's the one playing the Plateau, and Eric's the one who's in the top 8. Coincidence?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so
I'm
either.
sure he'll credit it to that Plateau when,
Yeah,
when he wins
yeah,
this tournament.
All right, so Tundra, and he passes. There's a Wasteland.
Wow, does he say go? Jacob Wilson says go. I think upkeep.
Yeah, upkeep is the perfect time. And it looks like Erik does have a Stifle.
Yeah, see, this is a perfect time to play with and around Stifle because Erik Smith, he
draws a Misty
saves his
Rainforest.
land.
That's really good. I think he might have another land too there hiding. So it might have been a 2-lander that he kept.
Okay, well, that's good. So Misty fetches up the Volcanic. Erik Smith, all his colors, 2 mana to Jacob Wilson's none. Let's see if he has a 1-drop here this turn.
Yeah, I mean, the only 1-drop that he could really have is either Delver or Grim Lavamancer.
Right.
Delver would be the better one here, given Jacob has no board whatsoever, and Grim Lavamancer won't really need to, take care of anything.
Erik Smith has another Stifle. He's going to say go and try and stifle a fetch land or a wasteland from Jacob.
Ooh, but look at Jacob. He has Volcanic Island. He has Tropical Island. He has lots of lands. For 18 lands, Jacob, drew a bunch this game.
Yeah.
Delver Secrets. So Erik has a 3rd land in the form of Misty Rainforest, so he's going to immediately crack it.
Yeah, he realizes what happened last game. These Stifles, he's making sure to crack all these lands.
Do you think this is a good time to get the Plateau now, or he wants a Tundra?
No, Tundra. I think the blue mana is too important. If he's ever cut out of blue, he's not in a good place.
Sure, that makes sense. So Erik will shuffle his deck. Erik down to 17, all from the 3 sack lands that he used: Scalding Tarn, Misty Rainforest, and another Misty Rainforest.
Yeah, we'll see what Erik has for this turn.
Present his deck. Jacob with a shuffle.
Is that a Grim?
No, it's a Snapcaster, Plow,
Lightning
Bolt, and a Stifle. I think Erik is just going to Lightning Bolt that Delver. He just wants to get rid of it right now while Jacob Wilson's tapped out. He doesn't have to worry about a Spell Pierce followed by a Daze or whatnot.
Right, now sometimes Erik might want to use the Plow if he intends to send the Lightning Bolt to Jacob's face, but this game is developing to more just be a card advantage battle. A battle of who can stick a big threat first rather than a life total battle.
Definitely. Now, there is some argument for Erik to actually pass, have Jacob think that the Delver might flip, so Jacob might go for a Brainstorm. Even if he doesn't go for a Brainstorm, Erik could see what card Jacob drew to flip it.
That's a good point.
So I think Erik played it extra cautious there when he didn't really need to. Either way is fine, though. But I know Erik loves Magic, and he's gonna watch this tape probably 5 or 6 times. And out of those 6 times, 5 of those times are going to be when he's at work.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what? And now, you talking about the Plateau, turns out you were right.
Yeah,
this Volcanic Island.
You kind of want to diverse your,
Right.
you have 2 red, have 2 blue, have 2 white. But Erik is going to go for a Stifle here, I believe. He really wants to protect his Volcanic Island.
Yeah, I think so, especially for tanking so long on that. Jacob definitely knows he has Stifle now.
Yeah, there it is. There's a Stifle. All right, so 3 lands to 1 right now. Was that a Brainstorm?
Yeah.
Daze.
Okay.
All right, Jacob draws. Jacob's still playing the game very well. He has lots of lands.
Yeah, 2 Rough Tumble and lots of lands. Jacob needs to find a Brainstorm to get rid of some of these.
And you know the thing? Jacob doesn't care how long the game goes, especially with 2 Rough and Tumbles in his hand, because he also has Life in the Loam. And he knows that he could get to a point where he could just lock Erik Smith out of all his lands.
That's a really good point. Erik Smith has nothing like Life from the Loam in his sideboard, no late game advantage. He has no Crucible. He has no Planeswalker to side in.
All right, so there's a Wasteland on the Volcanic Island, and I think Eric's probably wishing he got that Plateau now.
Yeah, right you are.
All right, there's a Delver, I think. Erik had a Daze there, right?
Yeah, I think he wants to save that Daze for something a little more important because he does have 2 Plows.
2 Plows, and he just wants to plow. Yeah, that's definitely fine. And Erik does draw Volcanic Island.
So lots of
And
lands for both
now,
these players.
Now do you think he's going to use... Okay, again, he doesn't take my line where he could pass, try to see if Jacob does a brainstorm, find out more information.
Right, overly cautious, like you said. He has 2 plows in hand, so even if Jacob does somehow counter that with his 1 mana, the 1 extra mana, not a huge deal. But
Sure.
again, minor plays.
All right, definitely really close.
So Delver comes down, another Delver, 3rd one of the game for Jacob Wilson. We'll see what Erik Smith's plan is for this one.
Okay, we'll see what happens here. There's Erik Smith. Okay, there's a plow on the Delver. And is Erik out of plows now? Is it just the Snapcaster left for a plow?
Yep, he had 2 plows, and he's used both of them. Wasteland, and he'll take out that green source while Jacob can't stifle that without cracking the fetch.
Okay, we'll see what happens. There's a draw. There's a
Ooh,
nimble mongoose. All right, both players just really, playing really cautiously, maybe overcautiously, but hey, it's almost 11 o'clock at night. These guys played a lot of Magic, but Jacob, I have to give him so much credit. He played so patiently. The first time Jacob ever went to LSV's store, LSV said, you know what? This guy is going to win a Grand Prix one day.
No, actually, he said that about 2 players who were...
Did he?
Yeah.
Who did he say it about?
Shahar Shenhar
Okay.
and Jacob Wilson.
And both those guys won Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Shahar won... Did he win 3?
3
Did he?
Grand Prix.
Yeah, Shahar Shenhar's sick.
A
He's a
beast.
sicko, yeah. That's insane. 3 Grand Prix, and he's like 19 years old. Maybe he's 20. Maybe he's 18. I don't know. All these guys are
He
young.
looks like 16, so...
But he's tall, that's for sure. So, all right, there's a Snapcaster Mage. Erik's thinking, all right, I'm going to go for the Stifle here. Does Jacob have anything?
Nope, he's just going to let that happen.
Okay.
He wants to make sure Jacob has no green mana to cast any Geese or Goyfs.
All right, so 2 comes in right there. There's a Delver of Secrets. So Jacob will draw for his turn.
So Brainstorm for Jacob. I think Erik is thinking about it here. And yeah, it resolves.
1. Oh, there's another Wasteland. There's a Scalding Tarn. And there's a Lightning Bolt. All right, and you remember, he still has that Rough and Tumble. So he wants to be able to, rough everything away before the Delver becomes flipped, because it deals 2 damage to each non-flyer.
That's right. It's
So
not
that's-
quite a Pyroclasm, almost.
That's something to think about.
So Jacob finally resolves a Brainstorm, finally draws a Brainstorm. He's finally able to shuffle away one of those 2 Rough and Tumbles. He's had 2 in his hand for way too long, just these 2 dead cards. And now his hand looks a lot better. And you know what? If you don't know much about Legacy, that's the power of Brainstorm. He trades 2 bad cards in his hand for 3 good cards, and it's almost like he Ancestral Recalled.
Okay, we'll see what happens here.
So looks like Rough Tumble and Wasteland. He's way ahead, he's way behind on mana. So the Wasteland, not too big of a deal. He's realized he's lost that fight. Fetch land. Yep.
All right, so Jacob Wilson, he's going to fetch up a tropical island here.
Right, and so there it is. There's the drop, and he's going to try and drop a Goose, a 3/3 Shroud Nimble Mongoose.
Yeah, all right, he will present his deck, and there's the Nimble Mongoose. So Erik takes a look at his hand, and there's that Daze.
Yep, and a little surprised he didn't daze the Brainstorm, but
yeah,
it looks good now.
Really patient. Yeah. Both players playing excellently here, really taking their time, thinking about the plays. Unfortunately, that Delver didn't flip, and there it is.
Boom.
2 damage, and is it going to resolve? Man,
Erik
it
Smith
is, yeah.
left with the 1 card. He drew this turn. He draws another. He needs a Geist.
That was a Geist. Jeez, these draws have been great. There it is, Rough and Tumble, 2 damage to each creature without flying, or 6 damage to each creature with flying. You're almost never going to cast Tumble.
No.
Realistically.
Not with Rug Delver.
No.
So, Geist of St. Trap, there it is. And you know what? I'm not a big fan of this fetch land from Erik Smith. I'd rather keep it for a Brainstorm. But again, playing in fear of Stifle, you can't blame him because it was Stifle that got him game 1.
All right, there's that Nimble Mongoose. 3/3. That stands in the way of a Geist for sure.
Sure does. Now, Erik Smith, he needs that Engineered Explosives right now, doesn't he?
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, right now, the way the game played out, I want to say both players deserve to win because they've both been playing really, really well.
They could ID.
Yeah, they could, right? Yeah. Hey, you know what? Let's just ID this round.
So here we go, Relic.
Wow, that's a good
That's
one.
a great draw.
Yeah.
That'll allow Erik to start swinging with that Geist of St. Traft.
Now, if that Geist wasn't so important, you could do a play where you could attack, then he would block with no Mongoose, then after combat he could blow the Relic to shrink it.
You can't do that though because of the ever-present threat of Stifle.
Oh yes, that's true. And also, obviously, you don't want to you don't want to lose Geist,
right?
Because Geist is just so important.
So I think Erik should just pop this right now, draw a card, see what he hits. Maybe it's a Ponder, maybe it's a Wasteland. Yeah, it could be a lot of things. Not really sure what he's hesitating for.
We'll see.
Maybe thinking about Stifle. Maybe thinking about, can I afford to wait until Jacob taps out?
All right, Erik definitely in the tank here, and he's going to go for it. He wants to remove all graveyards from the game.
He says, do you have it?
And he wants to draw a card, and if that's going to resolve, Erik will draw a card for his turn off the Relic, and I can't make out what it is, so we'll be patient.
Yep, but here comes the Angel token.
Yep.
Boom, 6. Drop Jacob to 9.
Yeah.
And it looked like Jacob was in amazing
know,
shape,
yeah,
but a
it
series
really
of
did.
good draws by Erik.
Yeah, all right,
he's right back in it.
Brainstorm. Do you think Jacob could just refill his entire graveyard?
Yeah, I think so. It wouldn't be that hard. There's a Ponder, there's a Probe. That's already 3.
Yeah.
He's a Fetch Land and a Wasteland away from 5. I mean,
It's close.
he could do it.
Yeah, I mean, he does have an extra turn. Even if the Geist attacks with the Angel, that's only 6, bringing Jacob down to 3.
Wow, you know, he's looking for a rough tumble right now. He'd be happy to 2-for-1 himself if it means dealing with the really dangerous Geist. That Geist is going to kill him in a couple short turns.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Ponder 1, 2, 3. Keep or shuffle? That's what Jacob's thinking about. You know, we can't tell. Looks like he's going to keep, so he must have drawn something he likes.
Fetch Land.
Yeah, Scalding Tarn's pretty good.
Yep, try and fill up the yard. All of a sudden, this is...
now he's on 3, just
yeah.
4 away. Oh, there's a Stifle.
Whoa, Erik Smith drawing very, very well this game. He went Geist into Relic into Stifle in the course of 2 turns, and what a turnaround.
Yeah, a lot of sick draws from Erik. I mean, between the top 8 match that we saw, that was just a great game, especially game 3, and this match right here, this game has just been back and forth, even game 1.
Yeah.
So a lot of really, really good legacy has been played so far.
Yep, and it looks like we have an update for you from the other match. Brian takes game 1. That's Brian Knopp over Jared Betcher.
Okay.
Rug Delver up 1-0.
Sure. All right. There's a Gataxian Probe, and I'm not quite sure what Jacob drew. But he's going to attack for 1.
He knows that he won't be chump blocking this turn.
All right, Erik draws. Jacob's really hoping that Erik just bricks off right here.
Oh, no dice.
No brick there. Daze, Volcanic Island, Snapcaster Mage. Wow, the last card, Snapcaster Mage, is really going to push Erik Smith over the top, I think, here.
Right, he's going to be able...
We might see a game 3.
Yeah, I think we are. Unless Jacob Wilkes can pull something miraculous here. I think Erik Smith's going to take this one.
Yeah, we'll see. Pretty sure he's just going to keep that Snapcaster in hand. He's going to attack. There's that Angel token. That's sick. Jacob goes down to 2 life. Erik passes. Jacob draws a Lightning Bolt.
Not quite.
Normally good against a 2/2, but not one with Hexproof.
Yep, Jacob's going to, well, he was going to Gataxian Probe.
Yep, we'll see. What can Jacob do? Can he do anything? He's weighing his options. We'll see what happens. Taps the Tropical Island. There's a Gataxian Probe. Yep. And all right, that's game right there. So we're going to a game 3.
Amazing.
Amazing game. I just have to give a lot of credit to both players so far. Erik Smith and Jacob Wilson played very well. They really took their time. They thought everything through. And, you know, it looked bad for Erik. And then it looked bad for Jacob. And then it looked bad for Erik again. And Erik ended up, you know, winning, tying the match. So we're going to a game 3 right now. Yeah, really good.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now, guys, we know about the audio issue on stream. We're going to actually restart the stream real quick.
Yeah, about 2 minutes max.
Right, while these guys are sideboarding, we're going to make sure that our audio and our video are synced up. So are we ready to do that?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's
so
go ahead
to
and
the
do
bathroom
that.
and come right back.